Hey guys, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about P0062 code. What exactly is it? What is solutions and symptoms? Now, a brief agenda of this video is the symptoms, common causes of this code, diagnosis step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4, and solutions for P0062. So let's get into the symptoms of P0062 code. Now, you will have a check engine light illumination on your cluster. That is one of the very first symptoms that you may be having with this code. You're also going to have reduced engine performance, which just means that your engine's going to be running at a less efficient slash sluggish acceleration overall output in general due to performance issues. Now, hesitation during acceleration. You may experience hesitation or stumbling when pressing the accelerator due to improper air-fuel mixture regulation. Now, you're also going to experience increased fuel consumption, so if you notice that your car takes more gas and it uses more gas than usual, then that is a symptom of this code. Moving on, the causes of P0062 code. You're going to have a faulty heated oxygen sensor. You may even have a damaged or shorted wiring, poor electrical connection, blown fuse, or a malfunctioning ECM. Now, whatever your cause is, go ahead and read the description I left down below for each one of these problems or causes, and check it out for whatever problem you're having. But moving on here, the diagnosis step 1 is just a visual inspection. So begin the diagnosis by visually inspecting the heated oxygen sensor located in bank 2 sensor 3 along with its wiring harness. Now look for physical damage such as cracks, corrosion, or contamination on the sensor itself, and examine the wiring for any signs of wear, fraying, burns, or even disconnections. Now pay close attention to connectors for loose or corroded terminals that could disrupt electrical continuity. Identifying visible damage at this stage helps pinpoint the root cause of the heater circuit malfunction before moving on to electrical testing or component replacement. Number 2 is just going to be a fuse check. So to check for blown fuses related to the heated oxygen sensor heater circuit, first locate the vehicle's fuse box using the owner's manual. Now identify the fuse linked to the oxygen sensor heater circuit, often labeled accordingly. Now remove the fuse using a fuse puller or needle nose pliers. Usually needle nose pliers are a little bit more convenient as they provide you with a little bit more give, so you can actually pull it out, but just visually inspect it for a broken filament or discoloration, which indicates a blown fuse. Now, if you're uncertain, to test the fuse with the multimeter set to continuity mode. No beep or reading confirms a blown fuse, and replace any blown fuse with one that is exact amperage rating to avoid any further electrical issues. Now, one thing when you're checking the fuses is that there's going to be a small coil in the fuse. Now, these fuses usually have coils very small, almost like a hair. However, when the middle of the fuse is actually just, it has actually burned up or fried up, you will see that the fuse, the actual coil in there is very thin, super thin. It might not even be intact, but just look for that. If it's black and there's no contact, then that is a fuse that you need to replace. So best replace it. That's usually a best way to look at it because fuses are very easy to replace. It's a lot easier than just going through the whole car and diagnosing it. But let's move on to the step 3 multimeter test. Now, to measure the resistance of the oxygen sensor heater, first disconnect the sensor connector to isolate it from the vehicle wiring. Now, set the multimeter to the ohm setting. Don't set it to voltage or amperage or whatever it may be. Set it to ohms and attach the multimeter probes to the heater circuit terminals of the oxygen sensor. Now compare the resistance reading to the manufacturer specified range. A reading outside this range indicates a faulty heater element, sorry about that, requiring sensor replacement to restore proper function. Now, diagnosis step 4 is an ECM scan. However, it isn't really recommended. Usually it isn't the actual cause of this, but if it is, connect an OBD2 scanner to the vehicle's diagnostic port and then typically located under the dashboard. Power on the scanner and follow the prompts to communicate with the ECM. Now, the scanner will retrieve stored trouble codes, including P0062 if present, and provide detailed descriptions. This step confirms the presence of the heater circuit fault and helps rule out other issues. Now, regular scanning allows monitoring of any additional related codes, so um, ensure that you're having a comprehensive diagnosis before proceeding with repairs. Now, solutions for P0062 are just replace the faulty sensor. All right, if the resistance readings are just out of range when testing with the multimeter, just replace it. All right, it's a lot easier than just leaving it there and adding to it. But moving on, repair any wiring. So you can also do a voltage test depending on how frayed or if there isn't really much of electrical issues that you may not see or that is not present. Doing a multimeter test is a lot easier to kind of see if all the ohms and all the voltages are there. Um, Replace blown fuses. Like I've mentioned already, when you pull out a fuse, you could look in the middle. If the coil is burned, it's fried, um, and it's not in contact, then that is a fuse that has went out. So it's best to replace that fuse and go on with your day. Now, next step is going to be inspecting and reprogramming the ECM, which um, you are going to have to take it to a technician if you don't know too much about that. I know the average person doesn't know. However, you could diagnose ECM for faults and reprogram it. So there's many tools out there that may even let you reprogram your ECM. So a lot of the newer OBD2s do actually let you do that. However, if you don't have that, I wouldn't really recommend messing with the ECM without having that type of hardware. So if you need help, contact the technician. And pretty much that's been it for today's video regarding P0062. If you found this video extremely helpful, please leave a like to the OBD Mastery YouTube channel. Check out our OBD Mastery catalog where we have plenty of videos regarding P0 codes. If you have any issues, leave a comment down below. We'll give you a comprehensive reply and detail of what your problem may be, and we'll let one of our technicians get out there and help you out with your problem via message. But thank you guys for watching another video here on the OBD Mastery YouTube channel. And it's been me, Gustavo. We'll see you all for another video.